That's right. We are live. It is Digital Learning Day. My friend, the doctor, Dr. Adam File. How you doing, sir?
I am doing well. I could complain, but you know what? A month ago, I didn't know if I was going to be here for this. So I'm happy to be here today, sir. Happy to be seen and happy to see you. How are things going with you?
I'm just excited that you're with us because for our listeners out there, those that are followers of the show, the Undisrupted Podcast, we'll get into that in a minute. But Adam, you scared me for a little while there. I thought I lost my brother, my partner in rhyme, but you're doing okay. You're ready for this day.
Yes, sir. I am ready. I am here. I have hair right now. So I am so excited to be a part of this DL Day, the 13th annual DL Day. And you know what? It would not be possible without all those out there who are watching right now, all those educators putting in the hard work in the classroom, boots on ground with the students. We salute you. Thank you for the work that you're doing right now. Thank you to all of our partners in education. Thank you for our school leaders, our administrators. None of this stuff that we're talking about today with digital learning would be possible without each and every one of you. So thank you for all that you do.
And be sure to check out, of course, all the All4Ed, great resources there at all4ed.org. Adam and I, of course, have our own little fun that we get to do. The Future Ready kind of lets us do with this Future Ready podcast, Undisrupted, with the number one podcast. Adam, is that correct? You're saying the other day, is the number one podcast?
Yes, the number one podcast featuring Adam and Carl. There's some other ones out there, but this is the only one featuring Adam and Carl. So happy to be here with, you know what? And I'm seeing some folks in the chat. So once again, if you are out there on social media, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, StreamYard, go ahead, throw a couple comments in there. We'll love to see what you're saying. We'll throw you up here on our chat. We want to see what's going on in the world. Represent wherever you're from, wherever you are celebrating Digital Learning Day, because it's not just here in America. We know it's being celebrated worldwide. Worldwide.
A lot of love there for Adam there in the chat as well. And of course, not just if you're coming on the chat, that's great too, but also be sure to use the DLD Day hashtag, because that is the hashtag we'll be using. We're pulling tweets throughout the day. Adam, I've already got a few queued up. You ready? Let's get these ready here.
Let's see what people are talking about.
Let's do, yeah. So make sure you use this tweet right down there. And again, we'll look at Instagram, we'll look at LinkedIn, Facebook, a few others. We got a couple coming in right now. We're going to give a shout out to a few schools across the country here. We have Northside Elementary School. We have pre-K students, pre-K Adam, listening to fifth graders and community mentors do a read aloud using Flip from Microsoft, of course, a great tool to have that little recorded, again, integration of technology. Yes. What a great thing.
And you know what? I'm guilty. I still can't say Flip. I still say Flipgrid. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Microsoft. Sorry. We're working on it.
We're trying to get better. We also have, of course, we have Woodland JCS here. This is from Jordan Dyson at Mrs. Dyson too. All hands on deck to make this a magical day for boys and girls. And it looks like there's a Mario theme happening. It's a Mario.
I like it. It's a digital.
It's a digital learning day. It's good. Okay. Also, Vela Middle School here. Mrs. Matt's third period reading language arts class brought history to life. They created a Netflix series based on the Holocaust Museum research, showcasing their creativity and knowledge. What a cool looking idea that is. Look at those background slides there.
Yeah. And, that's the amazing thing with technology. It really takes learning and puts it in the hands of our learners. And that is the cool thing about it. It gives all these students the opportunity to experience learning at a totally different level. And that's why technology in schools is so important today.
So many great reasons to celebrate. And again, February 15th, that's our day today. We're celebrating digital learning today. And as we see these other great posts, this is from at WBR Schools. I'm just showing you some other great examples. Now, Adam, although we celebrate it today, digital learning, really, it's not just about today, right?
No. It's not about today, and that's the misnomer. You know what? I would say this much. It's similar to Valentine's Day. People talk about Valentine's Day. We don't necessarily celebrate that in my house because, as my wife will tell you, every day with me is Valentine's Day because I treat her like the queen that she is, and I'm sure that's the same thing in the Hooker household. So with Digital Learning Day, it's really every day that we do all these wonderful things. But today we are just taking a moment to celebrate all the wonderful things that are happening in the world of technology. We want to make sure we're highlighting those educators that are going the extra mile, celebrating those administrators who are taking that leap of faith and trusting that educator with those tools in the classroom. Also celebrating those partners that we have in there, our vendors who make some really amazing products and have some amazing resources that we use in our classrooms today, because we know that wouldn't be possible without those vendors and those sponsors out there. Because I know you've worked with a few over the years as well, Carl.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, right when you're saying this, I just saw this tweet come up from Martha Borgiano, who we've known. You and I think I don't know if we've had her on the podcast, but she's done a poetry slam with us. Here, giving a shout out to Adobe. Of course, Adobe Express doing a lot of great work in educational space, along with AI. There it is. We went how long? 6 minutes before we said the words AI, Adam. But that's okay. We're going to throw it in there. But yeah, shout out to Martha and her crew, right in your neck of the woods there in Georgia, Adam.
Yeah. So you know what? New rule for all those watching us live, go ahead and get your bottle of water with you. So anytime the word AI is mentioned, go ahead and take a moment and get your little water right there. Anytime the word AI, is that a word now or what? AI. If we mention AI,
but yes.
If we mention AI, go ahead and have some of your nice Dasani out there, everybody.
Yeah, and this just in, we will not be cutting to Taylor Swift at any point during this show. But sorry for those of you that are waiting for Tay Tay. Although we love you, Tay Tay, we're not going to be cutting to you today. Okay, so let's frame the day. First of all, I think it's important. We're going to kind of break this day down. And again, I say a day; it's an hour, and it's going to be a jam-packed hour, folks. And we got people coming in. I see comments flying in left and right. We got people coming in from Florida. People giving shout-outs to pre-K. Tom Murray just laughing, which is just great. You have Tom in there just going, ha, ha, ha. That's good, too. and Matthew Joseph, with talking about practice AI, that's a different AI as well. But this first real level we're going to talk about is the national view. So as we set up this first segment, we're going to kind of look at nationally, and then we're going to go kind of scale in regional and state level, and then work our way, of course, into the district and school level as well. And so to kind of start us off, I think, without, I'd say he doesn't need any introduction, but you guys know him, you love him. He's the United States Secretary of Education. Miguel Cardona has greeted us with his presence today. He's going to he actually sent us a video. This is great. So we're going to pull up the video. I think Adam's got it. And we're going to hear from him and also hear a little bit about the National Ed Tech Plan.
Ooh, can't wait.
Happy Digital Learning Day. Thank you to all our teachers, school administrators, district leaders, and state leaders across the country. You're working every day to ensure that technology can be used innovatively and effectively to support classroom positive outcomes. And so much of that is what we're celebrating on Digital Learning Day. In the hands of great educators, technology has the incredible potential to personalize learning experiences, meet the needs of multilingual students and students with disabilities, engage parents and families, and inspire the next generation of community leaders. Here at the Federal Department of Education, we're committed to advancing that vision. One way we're doing this is launching the 2024 National Educational Technology Plan. This plan outlines a roadmap for harnessing the power of digital tools and resources in our schools, in our classrooms, so that all students benefit. You can check out the plan at tech.ed.gov/NETP. So to all of our teachers and education leaders, thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing on Digital Learning Day and beyond.
Of course, we're very grateful to have Miguel joining us. I think it's important to have, everyone's involved in this. We're seeing tweets from pre-K students, all the way from messages from our Department of Education. Adam, I think it's important that we're all kind of on the same page when it comes to learning, any kind of learning, especially digital.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that is so important about technology and education, that we understand it's one of those things that everyone has a role and a part to play. And I have to do it. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to rehash, our time that we went through the pandemic. We saw during that time that technology, the connectivity isn't just a K-12 problem. It isn't just a K-12 issue. It's something that really reaches everyone at all levels, where we have to ensure that we have connectivity, that we all have to have these technology skills, that everyone has to be supported in this space to ensure not only learning, but our future, because it's just that important.
Yeah, I think as we move further and further into, obviously the pandemic accelerated a lot of that access. And as we look at the NETP, the plan that Mr. Cardona mentioned, a lot of the things in there we talk about, you and I have talked about this on the podcast too, about that idea of connectivity, right? And it's like there's the digital divide, which is just do you have a device or do you not? What I really like about this plan, and I've looked it over, and again, the PDF is freely available. We'll put the link right down here on the bottom too. What I really like about this plan is, it has a lot of, there's access to, the idea that it's not just about the device anymore, right? Now there's all these other digital devices. There you can see it up there on your screen. All the other digital devices are out there, and you've talked about this before too.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the three that they kind of list out there, the digital use divide, the digital design divide, and that access divide. So really understanding that the divide is not just one type of divide. It's a larger issue, and it's encompassing multiple components in this plan. And one thing I love about it, it doesn't list it. It gives you these recommendations and things that each district can do to help support this national technology plan. And that's the best thing about it. It's not just a plan with stuff in it. It's how you can approach the divide, make you aware of it, and then what you can do in your particular space with that plan.
Right. We've for years in technology, at least in the technology space, it's about getting the tools and the access to the kids. But what this plan is really starting to do now is we start to see the shift to more of those pedagogical and instructional shifts about how we can actually integrate it with fidelity, with thoughtfulness, because now we're at a place where we can start doing that kind of work and having that kind of conversation, which I think is important. And again, all the changes that are happening in this landscape. I mean, we had COVID. That was, 1,438 days ago, if I'm doing my math correctly. And then
I'm not going to check that.
Yeah. But then 448 days ago, we had the launch of something called ChatGPT, which is another change agent. AI, again, there it is. I said it again, but another change agent that our teachers need to continue to work with, because there's all these changing landscapes. So again, I appreciate a lot of what they're doing in there. And I think in one thing in particular, I want to call out on page 37 of the plan, they talk a little bit about the idea of the portrait of an educator, and this idea that what we can do with teachers and also teacher capacity. I know a lot of you teachers out there watching right now going, yeah, this is great. I'm at a max, right? The state, whatever, someone's giving me too much, they're at a spot right now, Adam, where I just feel like, our teachers are at a max capacity. So how do we frame some of this and help them, kind of take a little bit of the load off of their plate, so to speak?
Yeah, and with this plan, looking at that portrait of a teacher that you can utilize in this plan as well, really showing what a teacher needs to know, understand, and do to support teaching and learning. And, personally giving a shout out to Future Ready and the Future Ready framework, marrying this with that Future Ready framework and going through those gears, I think will put districts in a position to really meet the needs of the students that they have, not only in their classrooms today, but tomorrow. Because, we're always talking about preparing students for this world that's ever changing. You mentioned AI. There it is again. AI didn't exist the way it does today during this pandemic. A lot of people thought virtual reality, augmented reality was going to be the metaverse, was going to be the new thing that was going to take off and just change education. But that's not the thing that's really providing change right now. It's AI. That's the thing that we're seeing in all these spaces. And when you talk about it, how do school districts take that information about AI and how it's being utilized and share that with the public, share it with the stakeholders, share it with parents? How do districts get that information out?
Right. I know. And that's another thing. It's like, there's so much information coming out. I know you and I are both parents of three kids, and my kids, I have elementary, middle school, and high school level. And when I'm getting stuff from them, it's coming, I get something for my daughter where she's missing a class, or my middle school child is like, her grades drop below. There's so much information kind of flying our way. I know that we just had, like you mentioned, a special holiday yesterday. It's an interesting one in the Hooker household. I'll just tell you that. The balance of Valentine's Day, but then there was also all this stuff that was happening. My girl's like, Dad, tomorrow I have to bring a stuffed animal, or the next day I have to wear, hearts on me or something like that. It's just a lot of information to take in. Did you have a similar experience?
Oh God. You know what? I will put myself in the group of a lot of other parents that spent the 13th, Valentine's Day Eve, putting together Valentine's Day boxes for the kids they had to have for their Valentines, or even running out to Walmart to get the Valentines and have the kids write the name on it. And I don't know about you, they've gotten a whole lot complicated. They're no longer just a card with the name. All of them have little like doodads, like a piece of candy or a pencil or a marble or some kind of thing on there. So keeping up with all that stuff gets very challenging as a parent. And so I'm happy that there are resources out there that school districts can utilize to kind of leverage and really help with that stakeholder involvement and communication. And one of our sponsors that we have for Digital Learning Day, Parent Square, We're familiar with the company. You're familiar with a lot of the folks that work there. They're doing a really amazing job of having resources out there for districts to utilize to keep parents and students involved in this whole conversation.
Let's check it out.
Parents are busy, and they're getting school information from everywhere. Teacher apps, school texts, email newsletters, district calls, backpack flyers. Too many methods, too many places to look. Schools don't know if they're getting through all this clutter and noise. Who is saying what? If family contact information is current, and who's not being reached. Wouldn't it be better if everything was in one place? So you and your families could be sure nothing and no one is missed? It's time to get organized, to get unified. Welcome to Parent Square. Parent Square unifies family communications from the district office to the classroom, all in a single platform. From district-wide alerts to individual parent-teacher messages, Parent Square's communications tools are built to work together, not piece together. Staff have to learn only one system. Parents find everything in one account. It's more than messages. It's also school services that rely on two-way communications, like filling out forms, scheduling conferences, excusing absences, and responding to progress reports. All fully integrated so parents can reply by web or app and miss nothing. Administrators also miss nothing. Usage and participation reports let them know who's not being reached and help improve communications equity. And they can trust contacts and messages will stay private and secure. Schools also increase engagement and family connections with Parent Square's unique ability to verify and flag updates to contact details. Parents can pick preferred ways of being reached and use any of their phone numbers or email addresses to log in. That gives parents control and schools confidence important messages make it through. With Parent Square, schools get a unified communications platform that saves time. They stay in touch with families easily and consistently. Parents have just one login account to find information and communicate with schools and teachers. They're more satisfied and involved. Parent Square, all of your family interactions in one place.
Oh, that would save me so much time. I need to get that here in Austin. I'll tell you. Yeah, that's all the components of that. I mean, I was almost getting nervous again, thinking about all the different things I need to check right at this moment. But having that Parent Square, that partnership is amazing.
And I think, using a tool like that would be really handy, especially being able to share some of the great work that's happening in the classroom. Because we use social media. We know that's a great tool that's out there. I'm still calling it Twitter. If you're still calling it Twitter with me, go ahead, let me know. I kind of feel like that scene from Coming to America. Mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay. Mama call him Twitter. I'm going to call him Twitter. I'm not saying X. But if you're using that to communicate, great. But we know that's a really great resource in getting information out and sharing what's going on, especially today with Digital Learning Day. Carl, do you have any more tweets you want to share out?
I do actually, and I'm with you. I still call it Twitter and X, and so I just started calling it Twix because to me it's an amalgamation of the two. So on the Twix today we have lots. By the way, if you add the to it, it really adds to my age. I'll say that right now. Kimberly Carlson joining us here at Wolves Tweet. Teachers making more learning engaging with technology and infographics, word study games. I love it. Hashtag We Are Lakota. We know some folks over there at Lakota as well. We got the Coming to America reference. Thank you, Enrique. I love also that technology, well, yes, this is a lot about digital learning, but it doesn't have to be confined to the four walls in the classroom. I want to give a shout out here at Richardson High School, Mr. Stamp's class, who's gone outside, and they're actually looking at the rooftop garden, doing some audio Paul Harvey style and the rest of the story.
Nice.
Soundtrap. What a cool kind of idea that is.
Love Soundtrap, really great tool, especially for those school districts out there looking at doing some podcasting. And once again, I mentioned this earlier, Carl. I know we're doing this worldwide. You see, we got somebody from Jordan giving a shout out there.
Yeah, global. We'll see if we can bring maybe later on we can have AI help us with some of the global, because we know this. Of course, this whole show is done in English, but maybe we can use AI. Hint, teaser. A little bit later to show you a little bit about that. This is Miss Grant here with the CTE students doing some real world activities, using skills for career readiness with every lesson, everyday lessons. I love it. Love the graphics there. Google Applied Digital Skills plus Google Sheets. And then, this is interesting, Adam. We've got some actual resources that are coming to us now on Twitter. This is actually from various state departments. So, I mean, this is we're talking schools, classrooms, but I love that the states are getting involved. This is from the Virginia Department of Education, the VDOE, just kind of celebrating, again, giving a shout out, talking about Digital Learning Day and really honoring that. And then, of course, in New York, too, right up the road there.
Wow.
Yeah, New York Education Department, again, talking through it, looking at the resources, things that they can do for Digital Learning Day. I love that the states are starting to become involved and really championing this as well.
That's where it has to be to ensure that we have the funding and the resources. It just can't happen at the classroom level. Yes, we want to make sure everyone's aware at the local level, the funding resources that are needed, but you got to also have that support at the state level to ensure that you're having the right resources, the right folks at the table, the right conversations that are happening around the use of technology. And here's the thing, when you start talking about a state view, it's not just about those major metropolitan areas, because that is one of those things that often happens sometimes when we start thinking about education. It's those populous areas. We start thinking about connectivity in big cities and places like that. We don't often encourage or have the conversations about all those rural areas that are fighting that digital divide as far as connectivity. So Digital Learning Day, we're also giving a shout out to those rural areas as well.
Yeah, and I love this next part. So what we're going to do over the next, we've only got about 40 minutes left. We're going to showcase, we're going to have 4 spotlight schools, of course, kind of scattered out to the next 40 minutes, but setting this first one up, coming from Austin, and not Austin, Texas, where I'm at, but Austin, Minnesota, talking a little bit about some of the innovative things they're doing up there in Minnesota. So let's check out the amazing work they're doing at Austin Public Schools.
Austin Online Academy is the little online school that could provide value and benefit to our students here in Austin, Minnesota, while also doing outreach across the state. We've seen great potential not only in the academic success of our students, but in their extracurricular and post-secondary adventures.
So Austin Online Academy is a new option for students and families in the Austin Public Schools to have their education provided on an online environment. And now in our 3rd year, as we see enrollment increase, we're finding the growth kind of very natural in its progression of success.
Austin Online Academy made it possible for me to be able to complete my schooling and feel comfortable doing it. There would be times when I would be holding my baby and I would have the laptop in front of me and I'd be using one hand to type all my assignments and he would be right here and I'd be on the yoga ball, bouncing him at the same time to put him to bed. It was beautiful and stressful at the same time, but because I had already been working towards, getting ahead, it was a lot easier than it could have been going to school in person.
Austin Online Academy allowed me to create my own schedule, do work whenever I needed, so I could also go to my job. This is a great learning opportunity, and it is a very good space, and this would be a great learning experience for you.
Online learning has given me this flexibility that I've really been looking for. I can work at my own pace, and I can have more free time outside of the normal school hours, which allows me to travel more, allows me to do more activities with my team and other activities that go with my other interests that I wouldn't usually have in the school hours.
A lot of our online learners are non-traditional learners, so we're seeing learners who need a space that isn't like a traditional classroom. This allows them to better manage their time, take breaks as needed, as well as ask us questions throughout.
AOA works for our students because we allow students to have an accelerated learning experience. And what we're really trying to show kids is that every student can access these more rigorous courses with supports that we have built in. And what's been really nice is that it has changed the mindset of our kids. That helps them see that I currently struggle at this, but with the right tools and support, I'm capable of doing better at school than I'd ever thought.
AOA works for our students because we intentionally integrate meaningful experiences. We work really hard to build relationships with students. Understanding who they are helps us to move ahead with the things that they know and connect them to what's happening. And those relationships are really what drive the academics for us.
Both of my children enrolled in the online for the flexibility. It gives them more time back because they can, what you call, flex their time. I feel like it's a good jumping board into college, where college often looks like that. You have busy seasons, or maybe you're juggling your work schedule or certain extra projects. And college often has later deadlines, or you can flex how quickly you get through things. And I think online learning allows kids to practice that before they're in a full college setting.
When Aiden was given the opportunity to play soccer in the cities, my first concern was his education, obviously. I wanted him to continue getting the wonderful education that Austin has to offer, and luckily we were able to do that with Austin Online Academy. The teachers have worked with him through the whole process. They have great communication with the student, with the parent. I think it's a great opportunity for any student who the traditional school schedule doesn't fit their needs. I think it's a really fantastic opportunity.
Austin Online Academy is successful because of the staff and students and families involved. The teachers are completely engaged and want kids to do well, and that ripple effect and that undercurrent reaches our students and families, and they feel supported and encouraged and capable of doing anything that they want to do and then moving beyond from that. This is a valuable and viable option for students, not only today, but moving forward into the future.
That is amazing. Phenomenal work there at Austin. Jessica and the team, congratulations. Shout out to everyone there at Austin Public Schools. Adam, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, think about, we talk about it all the time, meeting learners where they are. They literally are doing it.
I mean, the coolest part that I saw, like, there was a lot of cool parts, but the student talking about having her child and still learning, that's that cool thing. Because here's the thing, when you start talking about alternative learners, alternative learning styles, it's not about students who are quote unquote in trouble. They have to go to alternative school. It's like you said, meeting the learner where they are, having those alternative learning platforms, because we all school districts have those all statements where they say all students, yada, 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 yada. Right. What are you doing to really ensure that all students have those opportunities to learn and to be successful? That's the thing that I got from that. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I've got some extra notes here too. I've written down on my piece of paper just in case. So I don't want AI seeing this. I've heard a little bit about Austin. So, of course, coming from Austin, Texas, I'm like, what is this, Austin, Minnesota? So I did some research. Our crack staff at Future Ready has given me some intel here. Apparently, did you know that Austin, Minnesota is the spam capital of the world, Adam? You know, I know you deal with a lot of spam. So they get
all the stuff in my inbox? It comes from there?
No. The other kind of spam. Not that. Yeah. Not the spam you and I are used to, but very small rural district. And also, this is an interesting tidbit, but all students there take an AP course. And you may think, well, that's, that could be interesting. Why would you? But it's also to see themselves at that higher level environment. Because a lot of times, if you set a higher expectation, kids and students will rise to that challenge. So again, kudos and shout out to our friends over there at Austin Public Schools. Jessica and the team, great job.
Words of advice: don't put spam in the microwave.
Oh, okay. I don't want to know. I don't know how that turns out, but the smell, I can only imagine what's going to happen there.
Did it once in college, cleared the dorm out. That's all I got to say.
Hey, that could be effective too. Before we get to our next feature, our showcase, I want to share a couple quick mentions here. This is from, of course, our friend Tom Murray, one of the great leaders there at Future Ready and All for Ed. I just wanted to remind everyone, check out these Future Ready Learner Protocol. We talked about that earlier with the National Ed Tech Plan. We do have the resources available. Again, how much all these cost, Adam? I know Future Ready does a lot of work. I'm sure it costs a lot of money, right?
Well, for today and tomorrow
and forever only, it's going for the low price of free $99. That's FREE 99. Free 99. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, for Digital Learning Day and every day, free 99. All of the framework, all the resources that can be found at futureready.org/framework, free 99. Thank you, Tom, for sharing that with everybody. Yeah, and you don't need to enter the promo code, none of that. It's just free. I love that. That's what I've always loved. I've been connected with Future Ready since 2016 as a faculty member. And of course, Adam, you work there now, and it's just, we love everything about that organization. But enough about that. Let's kick off. We're going to shift our focus from Minnesota to Ohio. What do we have coming up here, Adam?
Hi. I was wanting to do that. I don't know why. You know what? We have Eastland Fairfield Career and Technical School, and they have a really amazing career pathway program there. And I believe their students actually put together this video segment that we're going to share. And you know what? I could talk about it, but why when they made a video for it?
I'm Ty James. I teach the cybersecurity program at Eastland Fairfield Career and Technical Schools on our New Albany satellite campus. Cybersecurity is a 2-year program that prepares students to work in the field of network security. They are able to get jobs as information support technicians, information security specialists. We also have students that look for careers in penetration testing, ethical hacking, and network administration. So the average IT experience of our students varies across the board. So we have students that come into the program with no IT background whatsoever, as well as students who are a little more advanced. They've set up networks in their own home and that type of thing. We bring them up from where they are.
Hi, I'm Adib. I'm a junior at the cybersecurity program here at New Albany. I've already had experience in technology. I do a lot of programming off the side, so cybersecurity appealed to me as one of the courses I could take at New Albany, and I was really interested when I found out freshman year about it.
Hi, my name is Sammy. I'm a junior at New Albany. I guess I don't really have a technology background, so it's a little random that I chose this. When we had the orientation, it was definitely assuring knowing that you didn't really need a background to start here and learn, because it starts from zero and builds up from there.
I look for students who just have a genuine interest in the area of IT in the field of cybersecurity. That genuine interest a lot of times is the motivation factor for them succeeding in the field. Some of the things that excite them most about the program are the aspect that we learn how to hack. So white hat hacking or ethical hacking is what we learn how to do in this class. And that's for the purpose of finding holes in corporate networks, so that way we can then go back and patch them later.
Definitely ethical hacking, where you actually learn how to breach networks, crack passwords, and generally learning how to protect yourself from non-ethical hacking.
So in their junior year, they learn how to design, build, and test computer networks, and we work toward the Network Plus certification. So they'll learn how to configure routers and switches. They'll learn how to configure servers and set up network infrastructure for a small to medium-sized business. The cybersecurity program prepares them for the Network Plus and Security Plus certifications from CompTIA. And I've also had students go above and beyond getting their Cisco CCNA and working toward their Certified Ethical Hacker certification as well.
I really enjoy the workload and the self-pace of the class. You're not burdened with homework. I'm never going home having to finish up assignments or anything. All my labs are done in person. All my work is done here, so it's quite enjoyable. It's not a stressful class to take, and it's something I'm passionate about, so it makes it even better.
Our career and tech organization that we're involved with is Skills USA. Skills USA allows the students to compete at multiple levels in the field that they are currently learning about. So we have cybersecurity competitions, networking competitions, IT services, and historically, my students have done very well in those competitions. The last 2 years, we've placed in the top 3 in the nation in the networking competition. So the great thing about cybersecurity is that it is in every business, every industry, so the sky is the limit in terms of where students go from here. I have students that go into IT and healthcare, insurance, banking, finance, programmers, network administrators, information security analysts. They can really go any direction they want with it, simply because cybersecurity is embedded in every aspect of life now.
It definitely feels cool to know that I have the kind of power over the network, I guess, just because it's kind of something that or a lot of people around me don't know. So it's yeah, I do know something. It feels kind of niche.
I'm excited to see where it goes, and I think that's one of the great things about this career field. It is ever-changing, and because of that, it's easy to stay interested in it.
Another great program there, Adam. I was thinking as they were talking about the program they do there, a couple things came to mind. One is in my era of being a tech director here in Austin, we had a student who said they could hack our SIS, and there's a lot of people that were like, well, what do you do? Do you suspend those kind of kids? What do you? And no, we employed them. Kind of what they're doing there, at Eastland Fairfield, saying let's put them to use that ethical hacking. I think it's such an important thing.
Because it's one of those things. I wrote a blog post, shameless self-promotion, a couple of months ago on the Future Ready site about students being the guardians of the future with the internet. It's really about teaching them those cybersecurity skills. And let's be honest, not every kid needs to know how to become a cybersecurity expert or a hacker, but having that background knowledge, that experience, is only going to make them more secure, and they're going to be able to spread the word to their classmates, to their peers, to hopefully have better password protection, better security networks, and keep things a whole lot safer. Because if I get another email from one of my vendors that I've used saying that my information may have been compromised and they're giving me a year's supply to Experian to check my credit score.
Yeah,
like, I don't want that. Just don't get hacked anymore. How about that?
Right. As Tom calls out,
let's hire some of these students.
Yeah, the kids actually made that video, so I want to give a shout out to them as well. And one other thing I'll just point out, because this is always, I don't know if you noticed this, but you noticed that the range and the diversity of kids, in that program was just phenomenal to me. And not all of them had hoodies, which I think we assume sometime with hackers. Oh, he's got his hoodie. There we go. See.
Yes,
that was not planned, but yes, good job on the hoodie. We have the props there in tow. Well, Adam, one of the other things that we've done a lot of work with is as Future Ready partners with a lot of different companies. This last summer, I got to work a lot with Microsoft on just setting up, talking about the emergence of AI, kind of like protocols, ideas, procedures, things like that, strategies for schools to use. So I want to give a quick shout out to them. We're going to hear a little bit from them as well as their TEALS program right now.
Hi, this is Mike Tholfsen, Group Product Manager on the Microsoft Education Engineering team. I'm so excited about Digital Learning Day and all of the great work that you're all going to be doing. Microsoft has partnered with the Future Ready schools and helped make the emerging practice guides available. And one of my favorite guides is the Demystifying Artificial Intelligence for K-12. And this is something that you can have great discussions on how you're going to think about this as a school and as a leadership team. Also, Microsoft has been really digging into AI on the education side. My team is helping build things like the free learning accelerators that are broadly available to help with reading, math, speaking, and well-being, and AI-enhanced learning. And also, my team has been working to help bring Copilot to all educators. So if you go to copilot.microsoft.com or download our app, you get free GPT-4 and DALL-E 3. So you can sign in with your educator account and be safe and protected with that compliance, but you also get the best quality GPT-4. You don't have to pay $20 a month like you do with ChatGPT+. So hopefully you can explore some of these education tools and have a great digital learning day and exploring these new emerging guides.
There's our favorite price again, Adam. We love it.
Free 99. Gotta love it. I mean, and that's the thing with Microsoft with their Copilot. It is so cool, and they're only scratching the surface. Because we joked about this prior to the big game, because I don't know if we can actually say it because we may get sued. So the big game that had Taylor Swift and that was present for the Usher concert, that thing, they had commercials.
His brother, yeah.
yes. They had commercials about AI. Microsoft made the big launch with Copilot during the Super Bowl as one of their commercials, and one of their competitors, Google,
rhymes with frugal. Yeah.
They actually came out with, they renamed their AI
Bard.
tool, Bard, which sounds like something that you do, to now Gemini. They picked a very creative name that no other product or thing has ever had before, called Gemini. I mean, like, that's like original.
We're running out of words. I mean, what else? I mean, yes, next will be Apollo. Shout out Carl Weathers, rest in power. But yes, but yeah, thanks to Microsoft for that too. And also, he didn't mention it in there, but Mike, also there's the cybersecurity pathways, which kind of ties back to what we just saw with Eastland Fairfield, and they have that Microsoft TEALS program, which is a great partnership program. We talk about cybersecurity pathways again. So I've liked a lot of the steps and the progression that Microsoft's taken over the years, and now kind of diving headfirst, as you say, into this AI world.
And one thing that's also cool, like Microsoft has some really great resources that districts can just grab for free and utilize as far as their pathways, ensuring that students have the right skills necessary to not only work in school systems, but work in whatever space they choose to work in. Because here's the thing, moving forward, every job is a tech job. I don't care if you have your own landscaping business. you're going to need a computer software to manage your jobs, to manage your payroll. So every business in 2024 and moving forward is a tech business. Everyone.
We're all in it now, and schools are too. As we see, whoa, I just took over our entire screen there. Whoops, sorry about that. As we go back to the socials, let's look and see. We got some, in the time that we've been talking, we've gotten some more tweets that have come up. Vernon Middle School here, World Language Academy, doing some great work there with Mrs. Rodriguez's ASL class, doing exit tickets using Flip. I almost said it, but I didn't. Microsoft Flip. Speaking of Microsoft, also there in Moises Vela Middle School, HCISD. Doing some work with, again, ELA class. They're doing some work with Google Slides. Again, it's just interesting how you see, and again, students using technology, there's all different types of devices, how you're using these, again, how they're interacting with it. Lots of different ones. This one, I encourage you, got to check out the video. I didn't have the video. I wasn't able to capture it. This is here this is actually Bernie ISD, not too far down the road from me, using a digital learning morning where they were going around, they walked on the moon. There's a great little tool there in the upper left corner. You see that little video, it's paused, but there's a student who goes up and uses a merge cube to actually see kind of like looking at the sun, looking at the solar system, things like that. Of course, here in Texas in about a month and a half, we'll have this full solar eclipse that's blowing through here. So it'll be pretty interesting as well when it comes to science. And then just a couple quick ones. This is Miss Humble Holmes, who has, again, Digital Learning Day happening right there. Again, love the use of QR codes, the student interaction, using tablets in this case. And this one I thought was kind of funny, Adam, so I'm going to pull it up. This is called Pathfinder School of Innovation. What I love about the school is they, of course, using the name Pathfinder.
They found themselves.
on the map. Just perfect that they actually did that. They found themselves on the DLD map. And so those of you that haven't, make sure you go ahead and put a pin in that map as well.
And not too late. Add yourself to the map, to the map, to the map.
And there's our first and only Dora the Exploradora reference. And then my favorite instructional tool to support personalized learning, easy peasy. Microsoft Teams, again, using Forms, Flip, a whiteboard and assignment. So again, lots of different diagnostics. They're tying into what we just talked about. Microsoft really stepping up when it comes to those educational tools that we love so much. So again, feel free to continue to share those hashtags out at #DLDay. We've got another round of those coming up. But next, Adam, we've seen a little bit from school, so we're going to drop closer into the local view. So we kind of started national. We talked state and regional. Now let's look locally and see what some of the schools are doing out there when it comes to all of these things, including AI. And I think our first one comes from close to you, actually. Is that correct?
Yes. And, it's Gwinnett County, not Gwinnett. It's Gwinnett County. Gwinnett. Make sure people know how to say this one. Is Gwinnett County, not too far from here. And they're doing some really great work, especially around AI in their Pathways program. So I'm going to go ahead and let them share what they're doing with you.
Greetings, esteemed colleagues, educators, students, and parents. My name is Calvin J. Watts, and I am honored to address you as the superintendent of Gwinnett County Public Schools. It brings me great pleasure to share the exciting developments in our educational journey, particularly the launch of our innovative AI pathway. Gwinnett County has always been committed to providing exceptional opportunities for our students, preparing them for a constantly evolving future. In today's rapidly changing world, students must be equipped with skills that go beyond traditional classroom learning. Our career, technical, and agricultural education, or CTAE programs and pathways, are at the forefront of our commitment to students and families. The significant value and importance of our CTAE programs cannot be overstated. These programs provide students with hands-on skills, prepare them for diverse career paths, and contribute to a skilled workforce that will continue to drive our community's success. We are committed to fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, and practical learning to empower our students for a dynamic future. Our CTAE programs offer students unique opportunities to acquire practical skills, knowledge, and experiences directly applicable to real-world careers and industries. In a rapidly evolving job market, these programs equip students with the tools to succeed in diverse fields, ranging from agriculture and manufacturing to healthcare, technology, and beyond. From career exploration to college preparation, we want to support each and every student on this transformative journey toward academic achievement and professional success. The introduction of the AI pathway in GCPS last year is a testament to our dedication to staying at the forefront of educational advancements. In collaboration with leading experts and technology partners, we have crafted a program that imparts cutting-edge knowledge in artificial intelligence and instills critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration skills essential for success in the digital age. Our AI pathway is designed to nurture talents and cultivate a deep understanding of artificial intelligence, empowering our students to be innovators and problem solvers in an increasingly tech-driven world. We believe that by embracing artificial intelligence, our students will not only be well prepared for the careers of tomorrow, but will also be active contributors to shaping the future of technology. Gwinnett County is also dedicated to fostering workforce-related opportunities for our students. We believe in the potential of every individual student, and our CTAE programs are designed to bridge the gap between the classroom and the workplace. By providing hands-on experiences and real-world connections, we are shaping a generation of academically proficient students who are ready to contribute meaningfully to the workforce upon graduation. As we continue on this exciting educational journey, I want to recognize the incredible educators in Gwinnett County and nationwide who harness the power of digital learning tools to create authentic connections and personalized learning experiences for every student. These educators are the unsung heroes, tirelessly working to bridge gaps and ensure that each and every child has access to a world-class education. The success of our AI pathway is not just about technology. It's about the educators who inspire, guide, and mentor our students. It's about fostering an environment where curiosity is nurtured and learning is a lifelong adventure. We salute these educators who go above and beyond, shaping the future leaders of our society. As we celebrate DL Day, I want to express my gratitude again to everyone who contributes to the success of our educational initiatives. Together, we are not just preparing students for the future. We are creating a future where each and every student has the opportunity to thrive. Let us continue to work collaboratively, pushing the boundaries of education and empowering the next generation to reach new heights. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to public education.
Doing some really great things in Gwinnett. One thing I love that he also included in that video, talking about the human side of the work. Because here's the thing, we've been talking about technology and digital learning, but that human side is something that you just can't replace. I mean, they're the 11th largest district in the country. Hugely diverse group of students there. And it's one of those things that you just have to have the people to make it work. I mean, AI is getting close. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that AI can do, but AI can't replace me. It can't. Right. It can't. I mean, Carl, can AI replace you?
I would say no, but just in, folks, we have a special guest, and I think it's because we brought it up so much. AI Carl is here. We're gonna bring him up on stage. Hi there. This isn't actually Carl, but an AI generated version of me. I'm excited to be here for Digital Learning Day. Thank you all for Ed. And now let me share that in several languages. First in Spanish. Estoy emocionado de ser parte del Día del Aprendizaje Digital. Now in German, ich freue mich, am Tag des digitalen Lernens hier zu sein. And finally, one in Mandarin Chinese. 我很高兴来到这里参加数字学习日. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, back to the human version of Carl and Adam.
Well, I may have spoken too soon about AI replacing us.
This is real. We are real. Of course, we could just be telling you that, or this could all be recorded versions of us. Kind of scary.
I'm not really here. I'm not really here.
Right. It's both exciting and scary, which you can say with anything in technology, that I could do that in like less than 5 minutes. But the translation part of that I thought was really neat. Again, we talk about people from other countries joining us today, and I love that idea of that. There are other places that we can get resources too, and I know Future Ready and All for Ed have put out a lot of great resources. One of which last year we talked about briefly in Chivery. And lots of great videos. I love the Lego movies. You a fan of the Legos?
Oh yeah, because everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. And we're part of the Achievery team with AT&T. And it is a product, and it goes back to my favorite price, free 99. And it is a really amazing resource that teachers are using all across the country. I'm going to give a few moments to have an educator share with you about the Achievery and what they're able to do in their classroom with it.
My name is Amanda Hunt, and I'm a middle school librarian in Texas, here to talk about how much I love using the Achievery. The Achievery is a free website that offers lesson plans and videos and all kinds of templates and resources for teachers and librarians for free. I love that the videos are all labeled by age group so that I can go straight to the ones that I need to. My students don't think they're cringy when I'm showing digital citizenship or social media videos to them, videos about cyberbullying. And so it's perfect for the age group that I'm working in that doesn't really want those more babyish videos that you'll find from elementary, which is really hard to find in the librarian world. My teachers love using it for all the different core classes, in addition to some more electives that really get a lot out of it, especially in the research part. They love using the different videos in their core content areas to get kids involved, to get them excited. They love watching videos, and it really has some great information in it. So if you haven't checked out the Achievery yet, put it on your to-do list.
Where was all that cool stuff when I was in the classroom? I didn't have all that like free stuff like that I could use with my students.
I know. I was just thinking about that with like this. And I don't know if you've ever remember playing like the cyberbullying videos back in the day. Cyberbullying isn't cool. Remember how I love how she calls out that they aren't cringy, which is definitely a term that my daughters definitely use with me and my wife all the time. Like, oh, stop being cringy, mom and dad. The fact that they actually time into things that the kids are interested in is great. I don't know if Dora the Explorer is on there, Adam, but still.
Adventure Time for all those Cartoon Network fans, they have Adventure Time on there. So that's on there. Craig of the Creek, We Bear Bears. Yeah, they have all those fun cartoons on there utilized. So they do have some stuff for the lower grades as well, but also those middle school kids that are very difficult to get anything for them to like anything. I have a 13-year-old as well. So, it's very hard to be cool.
I love that idea again, tying in, kind of their space, tying it into content to get them interested in about it as well. Well, it looks like we've got time for at least one more showcase video, Adam. And this one's coming from my neck of the woods. We got a little bit of Georgia love in there with Gwinnett, not Gwinnett, but Gwinnett. Now we're going to go down to Harlingen, down close to the border. I got a lot of friends down there in Region 1 in Texas, down in South Texas. And Harlingen is doing a lot of great things when it comes to digital learning, and especially their libraries. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So let's go ahead and cue that up.
Educational technology leaders in HCISD utilize the future-ready practices to help reach our goals.
Embracing my role as a librarian, I love to empower my students as creators. At the same time, I think student agency is really important. So giving my students autonomy over what they want to say through their work or what digital tools they want to use, I think is essential. And 21st century learning is giving us so many opportunities in the library itself. I want my students to be able to bring their creations of their imagination into life. So I try to bring in innovative technology like 3D printers, and our most recent addition is a laser cutter. So students are able to create prototypes of their learning, and really any product that they can imagine, we can help them bring those things to life.
I like digital learning because in class, it's really hard to stay focused on a piece of paper for more than 20 minutes, but doing it on a device can help me understand a lot of stuff better.
It's important that not only do we provide the technology and the tools, but that we also have a plan in place to address professional development for our teachers. That is through a combination of ongoing workshops, professional development, and continual assessment. We always want to make sure that we're perfecting our practice.
Working with my tech and my teachers on campus, we've really tried to facilitate some learning experiences for our teachers, utilizing the tools that they are familiar with and bringing in new apps and websites to help enhance their lessons and and engage their students.
Coming into this new year and getting a new math program, it was a little bit challenging to try to figure out how we were going to incorporate this in a digital capacity in our classroom, which ties into our student engagement, part of our instructional core here at HCISD. So I wanted to make sure that we were able to tie in student engagement, have my students have the voice and choice inside the classroom, and giving them the opportunity to build relationships with me and their classmates to better ensure that their education is met.
So we're very excited to be here at Harlingen CISD and working with All4Ed, being recognized by them nationally to really highlight what digital learning has done for us, as it increased our ability to hit higher order thinking skills, to keep our kids engaged, to provide authentic experiences, but leverage technology. So as our students move into the future, that they not only have an academic lifestyle that is driven through academic performance, but they also understand the importance of technology and what it does to make them the best learner they can be. So thank you very much.
There's no place I'd rather be than Harlingen CISD.
Yeah, those folks at Harlingen. I mean, a shout out to them again. Adam and you and I have been actually down in that neck of the woods. Dr. Gonzalez used to be the former superintendent at McAllen ISD, not too far from Harlingen. Great folks down there. We actually did that's our southernmost podcast that we've ever done, if you think about it.
Yeah. We did that live there. That was pretty cool being down there. I mean, it is just it just fills me up with such warmth to see the dedication of not only the educators, but the students. And that's when the student that said it's hard to look at a piece of paper for a long period of time. I see that with my own kids.
Right.
We often talk about screen time, and you've talked about this as well. It's not just a screen time, it's what they're doing while they're on the screen, because we want them to be productive. We want them to have those opportunities where they're creating, where they're sharing, where they're collaborating and choosing their own learning path. And that becomes possible because you have those educators that are taking those risks. You have those superintendents that are encouraging that to happen. So a big shout out, big salute to all those superintendents that are watching us live right now out there today, because a lot of the work that's happening in those classrooms would not be possible without that leadership having that support. So shout out to all those future ready superintendents, future ready principals, future ready school boards, future ready district leaders, technology directors, future ready librarians. Can't forget about y'all. Everybody's doing such an amazing job out there. Those future ready educators, you are doing the work in the classroom, making those things happen. So big up to you. You make Digital Learning Day possible. I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. You are the reason why we are here today.
I'm waiting to play that air horn until the end. There we go. The hype horn. Yes. I love it. Yeah. It's without that cohesive leadership is such a big part of this. And I think, as we look at these last few tweets, as we wrap up today, really thinking about what you just talked about, Adam, that step through of how everyone kind of has to be on the page of like, how are we going to make this actually happen? It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually do it. Shout out here to Robin Thompson at Crazy Mrs. T. What a great Twitter handle that is. Pre-K kiddos, they're doing some digital learning activities with Quiver Vision. I love that. The augmented reality, their drawings are coming to life right there on the screen. So again, our little 3 and 4 year olds getting to work there.
I will say this much: you got to be a little crazy to want to spend all day with 4-year-olds.
Yes, I never went below. First grade is the lowest I could ever teach for that very reason. Because after that, a lot of.
I mean that in a positive way, pre-K folks.
yes, a lot of love because we couldn't do it. Every day is DL Day here at 21 CCCS. Here again, giving a quick shout out. 21st Century Cyber Charter School. So again, schools all over. We're talking about pre-K. We're talking about going outdoors. We're talking about cyber schools. Math students working on presentations here at Piedmont Middle School, getting ready for the probability amusement park project. Ooh, I kind of want to see the end of this and see how it turns out. And I also love that, like you talked about this too, Adam, it's not all about just screen time, because here we have a mix of paper, and I love a shout out to the teachers that go out and do these amazing boards. This is an analog. I think it has a limited battery life. A quick shout out to Jessica Laws there again for doing a great job of talking about you're making share books with their tech buddies today, making connections to reading, which again, big part of everything that's happening. Reading is essential to all of this. And then again, back to our littles, we have another group here. This is Cassandra Pearson doing some work there. It looks like with Bbot, Ozobot, and a view board to create authentic connections and personalized learning experiences for preschoolers. So, it starts at all ages. And I'll say, like you were saying earlier, Adam, it doesn't stop just when they leave high school, when they leave college. We are all learners. And a quick shout out to all those amazing events out there that really are hosted. Like you put this out earlier down there in Louisiana. Of course, Future Ready, you guys, we're involved with all sorts of organizations that help kind of continuing the learning process. What are some other orgs that are out there that Future Ready is going to come into?
I just want to give a shout out to those folks down there in Louisiana, because I know they are recovering from Mardi Gras. So salute to you guys for being around for Digital Learning Day, because I know you enjoy Fat Tuesday and all that fun stuff. But, we have some conferences. Like right now, we have our crew that's on the West Coast in Seattle right now for NCCE. So salute to everybody out there. The director, Shannon Davenport, celebrating Digital Learning Day live. So all those people out there in Seattle, holler at you. And we also do a lot of work with conferences such as FETC. I know you were down there in Orlando.
Oh yeah.
I missed it out this year, but I'll be back.
You better be.
Austin, you're down at TCEA, another favorite partner with Future Ready, and we'll be doing some stuff out in Utah with UCET, and also the work that we do with ASCD and ISTE. I'm not only a member, I am a member of the board as well.
Yes.
So, salute to all my ISTE, ASCD folks out there. I definitely want to see all those conferences. Also, we work with COSIN and a smorgasbord of partners out there to make sure that all this work happens. It's not only done by Future Ready Schools, but it's done by all those district leaders out there, all those organizations that are doing the right work, working in the classrooms, working with educators, ensuring that we not only have the technology, but the skills, the tools, and the resources to make it happen. We talked about funding earlier, so let's make sure that you are talking to your elected officials to ensure that we have funding to make sure technology is in the classroom, in the hands of the teachers for staffing and those resources.
Absolutely. And of course, always check out the All for Ed website for all of these resources. I want to give a quick shout out again to all of our amazing schools. There are tons of schools out there. And we picked 4, but I mean, there's a lot that could be doing. We know you guys are doing amazing work out there, but I want to give a quick shout out to Austin Public Schools, Eastland Fairfield Career and Technical School, Gwinnett County, and Harlingen CISD. Just a thank you for sharing your school, your students, and your experiences with us today and with the nation. I think that's such an important part of what we're doing. We have to continue to share our stories. That is such a key part of everything we're doing. I don't care what platform you're on, if it's Facebook or Twix or LinkedIn, whatever, put it out there. Let's get those stories out there. I think that's such an important part. And then, speaking of, this almost looks like Mardi Gras a little bit, Adam, looking at this graphic. Save the date. That's right. Only 363 days away. Start your countdown calendar now. Actually, 364, because I forgot this is a leap year. I got to throw in that extra.
Oh,
yeah. So coming up February 13th, 2025 will be next year's Digital Learning Day. And then, of course, be sure to check out our podcast if you get a chance. The Undisrupted Podcast Season 8 just kicked off right now. We'll be doing a few episodes coming up here in the next couple of months, hopefully at a couple in-person venues.
Yep.
I'm just excited that you're back, Adam. I'm just going to say that right now. You got a lot of love in the chat. I know you've been busy with your own stuff, and I think that's important to take care of your health, but it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back into the mix, and I think all of education is grateful that you're here.
Yeah, don't make me cry. I promise I would not cry on this. But once again, I'm happy to be back. Everybody who said something on social media, it has been well received. I see you. I love you. Happy to be here. We're going to make 2024 one to remember. Like I said, this podcast season that we're going to get started is going to be the best one yet. Because, you got Carl, you got Adam. We're going to make it happen. So, Carl, let's give the people what they want.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been a very special Digital Learning Day edition of the Undisrupted Podcast, brought to you by All for Ed. He's Adam. Oh, he's this way. He's Adam. And you can follow him at AskAdam3.
And he's Carl, and you can follow him at Mr. Hooker. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we are better together.
And we are better
Undisrupted.
Now brought to you with AI.